Hello everybody and welcome back to part 3 of our live streams for Planet Zoo. It's really exciting to sort of be playing this game, and of course we are hitting the career mode, which is super good fun. I'm pretty pleased to be playing this game. We obviously did an extensive 3-hour stream live on Twitch yesterday for the game's launch, and on top of that, from yesterday we split that into 2 parts. We did one for the Madagascar Simian Conservation Project and the second one for Panda Park, because we did. Because why not? The Panda Park was surprisingly quicker than the Madagascar Simian Conservation Project. It actually took a couple of hours. The Panda Park one only took an hour. I think I was probably being a bit slow on that one, and I did do a bit more creativity on that one ahead of Panda Park. But other than that, that's pretty much where we are. Now this one will be slightly different, and we'll probably break down this episode into parts, because I know this is not a tutorial level, this is like a full park, so or a full zoo, as it were. So yeah, so we've got quite a few, as you can see, that we've got to get through, and I'm hoping to get through all these, and then we can focus on sort of our own zoo. But we're going to turn this into our own zoo anyway. So we're at Maple Leaf Wildlife Park. Bordering Candy Lake, the site of the Maple Leaf Wildlife Park was chosen for its outstanding views of natural beauty. In giving you this opportunity, Bernard has done you a great honour. So it's time to repay that the trust that he's placed in you and do him proud. So it's the Eye of Tiger? Bare Essentials, the Apprenticeship. Oh, right, that's clever. It's the Eye of the Tiger. See, it's clever, isn't it? Maple Leaf Wildlife Park. Let's hit it and see what comes next. Genuinely excited about this. This should be good. Nice.
After your sterling work in China, I got a bit of good news, better news situation for you. The good news is that I'm promoting you to apprentice zoo manager. The better news is you get to build a new zoo from scratch. That said, you will be on your own this time. No help from Nancy, although she wishes you luck. So, I suppose it's actually more of a good news, better news, and then slightly worse news situation. Either way, it's a chance for you to really prove yourself. Now, for this zoo, I'll want to see a good few different habitat and exhibit species, and at least as many guests to look at them. I'd also like you to keep your staff nice and happy as much as you can. And obviously the same's true of the animals as well. Oh, and let's see. Yeah, you should try to turn a good-sized profit to boot, so we can continue our vital work elsewhere. There. That should keep you going for a while. I'll check in with you later. Good luck.
Oh, so this should be fun. I'm going to put that there, and hopefully I can set my phone against the controller. Oh, I can't see that. Can I turn it that way? Yeah, maybe we can. Maybe not. So I'm just playing around with my... like I said, I don't really have a second screen. So I want to put it in a place where I can still sort of look in that general vicinity. Oh, we'll leave it there and see what happens. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. So Planet Zoo, Maple Leaf Wildlife Park. We are in charge now of changing this rather humble park. Oh, there's a lot of water here. So, and there's the borders are wow. This is quite a small zoo. It goes all the way up here, I assume. Right, so, oh wow, look, this is all part of it. Up here, I'm assuming the border is there. Look, the border's actually on top here, this mountain range. So all of this is buildable on. And obviously they want us to pave up there maybe and do a couple of things. Right, okay, so we are starting a zoo from scratch, and when you start a zoo from scratch you need all these things. So when we go on a franchise mode and stuff, we'll need these. We have 1,000 conservation credits and $80,000 dollars. So yeah, and we charge not a lot of money for people to come here. I prefer, let's go 7 o'clock. And 6 o'clock, just because that's how I like the opening times. I think we could be a bit more. Yeah, we still can't edit these. Maybe I just haven't unlocked the ability to do it. I don't know. But yeah, we have to have a trade center before we can look at any animals. But we've got 2 paths. There's obviously 2 ways in here. I like the fact that this map's partially built, so we can really get our own idea. We can actually build habitats in here and use the lake and stuff like that. So actually, the fact that this is like sort of laid out for us in this beautiful map, is brilliant actually. Because we've got all the space to work with, and then we've got a little island over here, a little island here, and we can do something with them, which is really cool. So, yeah, so let's get started. This is the entrance, quite a big entrance. It comes out to this, and then we've got a path here. It's all dirt at the moment. I quite like that, but I feel like an entrance of a zoo needs to still be a little bit a bit more professional than this. So what we'll do is match up. Match up the brick, just because it sort of makes sense. And we can align to grid. We'll grid build this to start with. Might have to get rid of that. I don't mind the rocks being this side, and we can actually have. Terrain too uneven. We can sort of, I suppose. Yeah, we can cascade it. That's fine. I'll try and do something funky with that path in a minute. Then what we're going to want here is sort of maybe a curve. So we want to deselect the grid now, because we're going to want this to come down here and around here. But I want there to be sort of like a diagonal split, perhaps here, if that makes sense. But what we'll do, let's get our actual money back. What's this path? Oh, it's kind of all pixelated now. That's weird. I'll try with that. Right. Anyway, so we want to try and make that a little bit bigger. So maybe 8-meter path. That's about right, isn't it? Yeah. So what we want is we want that path to be in the middle. We don't want to worry about it too much yet. Yeah, I quite like that. I like that that curves around there like that. And we could definitely do something relatively useful here. I feel that we could have some of our buildings, and where these trees are here, we can hide some of our staff buildings, like the trade centre and stuff like that. It might be quite worth useful. I have no idea why I am actually playing. But here is where we can hide our staff buildings, in these trees, where they can't be seen. There's some great locations actually behind here as well, but it's not quite enough space. It's the first time you've seen a map, so you just want to plan it out a little bit maybe, and get this sort of idea of what you want going forward. And let's put on the grid. I do like the bridge. It's got to be a 10 size path, right? I don't know why it does that. I mean, it should. We can sort the paths out. We can cover up these curbs and stuff with different sort of flowers and that, and we can make this look pretty. And we've got a bridge that goes over there over troubled water. But the key thing is getting 3 species in here. So what we're going to do is build 1 exhibit. I think to start, just to get the bronze medal out of the way, 1 exhibit, get 3 different animals that can all live together. So probably those African animals will probably be a shout. and we'll get them in, and then we'll work from there, because we'll get revenue from that anyway, and they'll be really happy that they're all paired together. So it should be a pretty instant hit in terms of having a good basis to go off, really. And we need to make 7 meters. We could do something pretty creative. We can have an exhibit up here, build like a crossroads here and up here. This is going to be an exhibit anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Don't know if I watch it though. We can build something there as well. So yeah, quite like that. That's nice, and this is where we're going to hide some of our staff buildings, which we need to do now. We've spent, you know, nearly £1,000 on $1,000 rather. Crap. So, sorry guys, this is good. We get money from selling this stuff actually. Just realised that's good because I'm going to need it. Trees as well. They cost a lot of money. This is actually a bit of a con. They should probably change that. I've spent more than that. We only started on 80 grand, of course. That's pretty poor. And we can cover it all back up with trees. And so now we have this sort of awesome thing. What we can do here is grab those, duplicate them. Oh, look at that! Already, look, even just by pure duplication, you can get away with so much on this game, and the actual design and everything is pretty classy. Again, duplicate. By doing little things like that, even though actually it wasn't any good because it wasn't on a flat. Anyway, right, we need to get to building some of these things. So what I'm going to do is staff facilities. There is generic buildings, but I feel that we should probably have like a log cabin feel here, in terms of sort of how things look and what they look like. I'm not sure whether that build with the brick there is gonna be quite suitable, but what we will do, the big ones are our animal trade. Animal trade's a big one. Don't mind the workshop being there really. So we put one log cabin here, which I quite like. We've got a staff room there as well, which I quite like. So good, that's a good start. Now, in terms of actual building, I do want to do a bit of creativity on this live stream, because I think that's. Are we restricted? Oh my god, we're actually restricted on what we can place. Because this stuff is quite see-through, so you can see through. Yeah, we've not got anything to build with. We've got breeze block and a concrete wall, which is sort of lame. I'm massively surprised that, okay, we don't have any wood to play with other than these, but I don't like how they set on the buildings. As you can see, it's not very great. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Okay, well that changes the plan, I suppose. Oh, we've got metal planks. Oh, I don't like it though. They look corrugated. It doesn't look like what you'd see here. Maybe it is. Gets you thinking. Plant door. I think we're going to have to go with this sort of breeze block for now and suck it up, I suppose. At the end of the day, I suppose it's a tutorial, so I'm going to go with the same. Curve works there, no, not massively. The trick with buildings on any of these games is to not make them like dead square and stuff. Even here, right now, there's no definition to the side of the building. We'll need to change that. But here as well, we've got a nice curve. It just adds a different shape to the building, and we've put some 4 key like sort of bits in there, which is really important here. But a way of adding height. Is it the same? I used concrete wall along here. How on earth did that happen? That's going to cost me a lot of money to replace. Me not obviously concentrating. Got the rest of it. So just adding a little bit of definition and change obviously makes a huge difference. I'll do that. With this though, just going to increase the height of it slightly. It looks a bit different, doesn't it, this building? Let's the other thing I didn't check was roofs at all. Crap, I suppose. I could probably... I'm not sure now. Yeah, the roofs, they've given us corrugated, which obviously sucks. There's no... I mean, that really isn't a great looking thing. Which I don't like. They've got metal plank. It's sort of like a castle now. And they've got asphalt, which asphalt. So I think I'm gonna have to go with the asphalt on my initial thoughts, I suppose. That's one nice thing. We can make our own roof, there is that, and we've got guttering here now, which is new. And we've also got this stuff, which you can... it is gridded, actually. I didn't think it was gridded. I'm not sure about that. But I suppose... we can be relatively creative here. Have it there, and then we could probably do something with it afterwards, I suppose. Not sure about that. No, that doesn't look right. What we can do for now like I said, I'm not really... we could... Oh, do you know what we could hypothetically do? What's the... That push under there. I guess we... I'm assuming... What else we do? We do have... we do have like these, but it's obviously quite high. So we need to be quite creative in how we've done that. So select the group. Can't get the camera right now for some reason. What we want to do is just move the button down. Change. Oh, why has it done that? Weird. That's slightly annoying, actually. Oh, it's not dead straight. There is a way of doing it dead straight. I can't remember what it is. Let's go wooden post through. It's not staying there, is it? Why is that not rotating? The building's straight. Even these have come down a level. Look, look. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Oh man, I'm so frustrated. Okay, wait, no, cancel, 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 exit, exit. Edit the building, grab that, duplicate it. Do that. Now grab the wooden post. Why is that turning it? The thing is, like, even when I'm turning, that's not even straight, look. It's slightly off, and when I inevitably bring this down, which I'm going to, it's too short anyway, can we grab a... Goes in the ground slightly. Right. Tick that. Bring that up, right? Get rid of that one. I'm just thinking of duplicate. I'm just trying to save time later. This is taking a bit longer than I'd like. It's not dead straight, but it's crooked, and I'm not overly pedantic about it. But it's frustrating me enough. There we go. There we go. Right, so we'll move that. Can we grab both of them? It's just really frustrating. That's fine. Just do another one. It's just amazing that that doesn't work as it probably should. Oh my word, I'm literally pissing up the wrong tree today. Right, let's grab it. Bring it back. Like it there. Click tick. Control T? Oh no. Control X, right? Which is fine. A bit annoying, but... let's move it back. The issue is, when you're doing it this way, is it's easy to freeball it and try and... because you can't even, like, when you do that now. So, it works when you do that, right? But then I can try... oh, there we go. It literally was just to build like sort of a semi sort of functioning barrier. All that time for that. It sounds pathetic, doesn't it? But no, it sort of works, and it just gives the park a little bit more life. What we'll do is grab those poles and we'll duplicate them again. This way. Yeah, I don't mind that. And then what we can do is with this, we can make sort of like a flowery thing there and do something different with it, I suppose. It offers the building a bit more dimension. Here we're going to have to do something anyway. And arches are a clever way of hiding and giving the building a little bit more personality. Although arches do seem a bit sort of 20th century. But I suppose even something like that, and then potentially what we could do, I quite like these wooden pieces, they're not awful, and have them across there. It offers a bit more variety to the building. It gives a reason as to why we have this, and I quite like this as a thing that goes around the building. Oh, it doesn't go there. Which is quite a surprise. Why don't we go there? That's a shame. I can fix that, I think. We'll see. And I quite like it. It now just has a bit more of a personality. We can't do it around the pillar, but that's not the end of the world actually. We can do something with this pillar afterwards. But just having this building, having a little bit more personality. It's not great, it's not perfect. Signs, anyone? There we go. And then you've got standing signs and wall signs, and then you've got shop, species and facility signs. And this is where I've got to remember what each is. So, so where's the workshop? Workshop facility. Oh right, you can actually place it directly on there. I quite like that. I'm not sure what that is. That is a trade center. So trade center facility. Nice. That's a research center. Boom. And that's a staff room. There's not a staff room. I was hoping for sort of like a staff only. I'm assuming we'd have to sort of write our own. And you can do that through props, I think. Yeah. So you can end up we can even plonk them on here. I'm not too fussed because it'll give and again can give this like a little bit of character. Why is that A massive? Pick the wrong A, yeah, that's what I say, that's the biggest A I've ever seen. I don't mind these letters. A little bit more of a variety would have probably have been nice. It's massive again. Where are all the little letters for these ones? It's a big one and the little L's here. Yes. I'll just sit there, I suppose. That's right. There we go. And the last wires below these. It offers a little bit of personality, and you can see it through there. I mean, it looks pretty cool. We do need to get on with the exhibit, sort of, though. But I quite like the way we've got that looking, and what we can do. Just place it in the windows. Decoration. Okay. A few fascias, I suppose. I should check something. It looks zoo-like, I suppose. There you go. Nice little staff area. We will improve on that, I'm sure, as the days go on. Plus, the back of the building looks atrocious. But we can't see that. What happens there doesn't matter, I suppose. But yeah, no, it looks good, and you can't see it from down here at all. So to hide those staff buildings is so important in this game. They do have an effect. If you look here, and negative impact on guests, these buildings have a negative impact. So if a guest can see them, and you know, obviously they won't like that. So if they, for instance, were walking on this path, they would not be happy because they know there's a staff building, and it just takes them away from the illusion of being where they're meant to be. But yeah, hi brother, I didn't know when you messaged that. How you doing? Yeah, so effectively you'd get what I quite like that. I think Parkitect is a game that does it really well, because actually having trees and stuff in the way really does make a difference, because it goes by field of vision. This I don't think works the same way. I think it just works off a basis of how far away you are from them. But I quite like how that works. But it's a nice building, and we've kept it pretty much tucked away. The only downside is we really do need to get research going to get rid of this, because I hate these buildings. These buildings are not good. I need to create some wooden buildings, and I want the log cabins, because that makes more sense in this sort of environment, I think. So, when we come in, we obviously see a bridge. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the zoom in this game right now. There we go. We come to this bridge. There is a bridge here. We could probably do something relatively small here. Again, incorporate the stream. It's quite a clever mechanic that we could probably get away with somewhat. We want to utilise this lake here potentially for maybe hippopotamus or something like that. But we need to see what animals we can probably get in. So we've got American bisons, we can get turtles, we can get this black wildebeest, black bear. It's a very much American animals actually. Are we going to have trouble? No, there's ringtail lemurs, saber antelopes, saltwater crocs, snow leopards, nice, timber wolves. Yeah, we knew they were going to be in there. This tutorial, let's be honest. So it looks like selected animals. So, for example, the American buffalo, was that one? Was the American bison? Can go with a pronghorn antelope. I'm not sure whether the pronghorn antelope was there. We were going to try and con our way to this. I can't remember seeing it. No. And Nyala. Let's have a look. Nyala. What can they be paired with? It doesn't benefit sharing. American bison. But I don't think we have American bisons here. Oh, we do. Okay, so... Okay, that's not too bad then. let's adopt her. And let's adopt him. Would be my suggestion. We can get them breeding. We can benefit from the points because we've. There we go. So we've bought in a couple of American bisons, which is really good. So what we want to do is we want them to have a habitat where they can chill, where they can relax, and where it can all work out for them for the best. So what we want to do is build it somewhere where it's really accessible, nice and early on. Now this water source is too good. I mean, we should be using this really. It's a great ramped water source. We should be using this for animals, 100%. Maybe the saltwater crocs would go great in here. And it's tempting. Nice water source back here. There's a lot of plains sort of up here. We've got another area here and here, which we could probably split into two, one here, and then bring the path round and back down, and then around here. There's another space there, probably a couple of exhibits here. We've got at least one exhibit probably here utilising this stream twice, maybe two ways. There's one here and one here, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the guests right in, and we're going to have maybe over the... not over the stream, maybe split in the middle here. So what we're going to do, let's get a barrier. Let's start with a chain link. And what we won't start with a chain link. We'll start with a wall because we can curve walls. And we're going to split the stream. There we go. It doesn't need to be anything too drastic. We will sort this out, don't worry, it's just more of a... hopefully getting... chain... plastic chain... plastic chain... So I quite like that. I do like this. We will end up changing this to sort of a wooden so strange. You can do that with anything here, so with this we can edit the barrier. We want to make it close, but what we want to do is probably and we'll lower that down. Like that for now. It doesn't really matter with that side, but this side is a crucial bit because this is where we're going to have our first animal enclosure. And what we can do here is we can be quite clever. There is a lot of space here where we're going to need to pretty much bring guests down to. Mainly, well, for two reasons really. Reason number one is there's a lot of space here to have another exhibit, and secondly, another area. Sorry, but secondly, we need a place where we can have our guys go in and do their job. That's really quite important. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit this and we're going to delete just this wall section here. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way of doing it. How can we? Where's that one deleted? Oh, there we go. We can just do that. What we'll do is we'll hold off. We'll do construction. What we want to do is try and be sort of semi-clever about it, and we're going to build probably here our keeper's hut, and there'll be good reason in a second. Let's facilities, let's go keeper's hut. Terrain modification failed. Oh, that's right. Put it there for now. We can always rotate the building afterwards. And then what we want to do is go into construction. Right, we're still in the group. Go to construction. And what we want to do is... so frustrating because of... I'm going to have to make it a metal building. I don't want to do this, and this keeper hut will change hard. I like the keeper hut window being exposed, that's a good idea. And we'll just push that there for now, that's fine. But I don't necessarily, I'm not a huge fan of what we're doing here. But, oh well. Not a lot of choice, we do things. So what we need is, I do want this building to be included in the enclosure, but what we're going to do, we're going to do it in a way that this doesn't look too awful, I think. So we'll stop editing that a minute. Let's move, edit area, and we're going to move it. Like I said, the benefits you can get, you can really move this really pretty much inside the building, and I quite like that. So it sort of connects up, which is good. And again, you want to do the same with this. Not really sure how it works, but it connects up nonetheless, and that's absolutely fine. I quite like that. Actually, it's not going to work, is it? I need it back here because the gate, I'm not going to be able to, I need to put it on a, yeah, it would work there as well, which is quite funny. It's the only frustrating thing. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Can we do it from null barriers? I think we probably can. Yeah, we can. So I guess I can select that, create it to null, create that to null, add the gate. Look at that. Little con magic. We'll do that in a second. So we know we've got a null barrier there, and what we can do with that null barrier, I suppose, is bring it right across. It can go to there. It doesn't really bother me where the null barrier goes. Probably not like that there. I don't think that the animals, I think they do, but I'm not sure that they 100% pole here, isn't there? So that pole there, we just need to move it just for the door. And then the door will go there. Now, stuff can walk through without there being too much issue. Now we do need to tidy up the pathing system, so we need to remove the one for the door. That's far too big. Going for that. Excellent, that's fine. It's too close. It shouldn't be. This has worked before for me, sort of, I think. In the beta it worked. And let's grid it. And then deselect grid. As it should. Get it there, as that does stuff. That's going to be a bit of a pain. Can we grab the building? Move the building. Grab the building, move the building. We'll get there. It's taking a little minute to get it absolutely perfect. I want to make sure that we get everything needs to work perfectly. I believe this game, it's not buggy, but it doesn't like to be wrong. And now I've moved that, it doesn't like it. Can we? We could probably bring the wall away from the building. That would probably be the best fix for this, because genuinely could be here all day trying to fix it, but that looks okay. I think we'll get away with a door. We'll put something around it to make it not look as obvious, but that looks good. Now we've got a keeper hut attached directly to what appears, look at that, appears to be a habitat. What that means is we can chuck an animal in there now, which is good news because we've spent a good 10 grand doing this up. So well, what we need to do first is pretty much grab this barrier and change it to something that we want to use, because I don't ideally want to use brick. We do have wood logs which look good, and we could raise this up to 3 meters. I don't think that's it, I suppose. I'm not that over the top about it. I'm not too worried. So let's just that's fine. We'll lower this down. I don't want to lower the whole thing down. Put it to 3 meters on purpose. Three meters, that's fine. And grab that, lower this down. It's fine that it curves down there like that. I quite like that. That's going weird. Camera's bugging out. We'll turn up. There we go. We fixed it. Right, grab this. It looks like it's. Oh no, maybe it's just me. And then what we want to do is grab this, put it all the way around there. Not actually, we don't. We probably want to put it along here, and we can glass it up. What I love about the glass as well is you can increase or decrease the window size. I quite like them set to 25. I think it's quite big viewing planes there, and to get a good view of the animals is really good, and get an idea of them. Again, along here, I would suggest along the whole of the wood. What we could do is definitely put the glass in. And that's fine. So the glass should match now, and we've got this nice sort of wooden-looking modern sort of theme going on here. And what we would definitely do here is path-wise, we would ensure the guys and girls at the park I'm going to change all the path here, here and here for some reason, here and here, and then we can hit the bridge, just as what was originally planned. And then what we want to do, we need to get quarantine building, because we're not ready to open the zoo quite yet. We still need a vet surgery and quarantine, just in case the bisons decide to fight. But right now we have, at least we have an exhibit, which we can put a couple of animals in. And what we're going to do as well is we do need to just finish this little hut off. Not a big fan of it, but not a lot I can do when I'm being given pretty much junk to play with, which is a bit of a shame. Do is we'll just use some metal roofs on this bad boy. Not a big fan of that, but again, it just, I don't know, it looks sort of old school, I suppose. We do have guttering and trims to use. I suppose it's not awful. Is that? Not quite sure what's going on here. Oh, I understand rotation is probably the issue. No. Weird. I'm genuinely surprised that that's not working. Surely. Just use the corrugated. It's a different metal. I swear that's different. Is it just the angle? Yeah. Yeah, it's just the angle. Do 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 do. Always having a little overhang there. Looks quite nice. It is a naff building, but do you know what? We'll take it for now, because it just, we need to get something rolling here. Running down. Not really too worried about that, but yeah, I quite like that. That looks nice now at least, and we've at least got maybe a little bit of a farm sort of yard feel. It's at least a building, and it's something different, I suppose, when the guests walk in. Right. What we definitely do need though is a quarantine building. We're sort of in desperate need for one. We're gonna have to put it up here, I suppose. What I might do is just dump these down, just to try and at least get started on pushing towards getting this done. Only because we'll be here all day, and what I can do is always, probably in the background more than anything, is add a few little different things. So, for example, quarantine. You definitely need quarantine in your zoo. There we go. So quarantine's in. What I will do, hopefully, is excellent. Can we just move it there for that? Grab these trees. Again, we'll want them back, but we'll move this back across there because I quite like it there. It doesn't seem right. Move, right, okay. I love these trees. They really do hide a lot. Maybe if I can, or maybe if I select these, keep that. That's fine. Commute terrain. Disabled. No, we can't actually change the terrain. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Mr. Schnurblele. It's a little bit annoying. Terrain's really important. We can change terrain by flattening using buildings, but we can't actually change terrain. Oh, okay. Well, you want to be an asshole, then fine, I suppose. Move that tree from the centre. Now can we fit in quarantine building? Yes, we can. Okay. We'll leave the quarantine building there. It sort of makes sense. What we'll do then... I do hate doing... That's fair enough. Path is actually bigger than I thought it was. Huge staff path. We don't need a huge staff path. Quarantine's there now, so we do have quarantine, which is good news. We do need a veterinary surgery. They're quite important. Again, I was going to use the trees to hide, but without being able to actually edit terrains, a little bit of a problem, somewhat. We could have it here. I really like these trees though and stuff, so it's amazing that they decided, oh, do you know what, let's disable the terrain, but we won't disable the ability for you to move my trees around. Like I can understand that they, but maybe not sell them. Do you know what I mean? Because I can literally go around deleting shit, and there's not a lot you can do about it. I'm just going to make loads of money. You asked me to be a profitable zoo. I can be by just selling all the trees. Now, where's we? Crap, go with that. Go with that. Oh, there's flowers. No, just grab the flowers, and then let's move them all over here for now. And oh, they look lovely. What a lovely bunch of flowers. Right, and what we should be able to do is facilities, and we should be able to get in a surgery. I can actually cheat and use the blueprint, and we can always change the stuff afterwards. Doesn't bother me too much now. I'm sort of. I'm not lagging. It's just. I'd rather them all be like that, but I'm not got the time to go in and do them all yet, and I haven't done the frame fully on this one anyway. It's just a sort of map stuff only sort of area. But yeah, so we now actually have everything in the zoo that we need, and the only thing I need to do now is build this path. So I don't know what we want to do. Make this a size 7 path maybe. Because you can't edit terrain. terrain. I don't understand what the issue is. Can't flatten terrain, but you can move buildings. Do you see what I mean? It's a bit. How's the join there? Did you see it? That was a join. It's there. That looks horrendous. No is the answer to this. Oh wait, there is a way. We can go here. Oh, because I've got T-junctions? No. Oh, something that wants to. Wait, is that because angle snaps on? Ah, maybe. I'm not too worried about that actually. The slope's a bit annoying, and having this like this is a little bit annoying, but okay. I can sort of live with it, I suppose. I can definitely put something in there to stop that from looking so stupid. Right. Oh, something's. Whoa, the game's just gone weird. Right, okay. It's probably me. Right, okay. No, that looks okay. So what we can do with this now, we can move this tree. It's not proposing now, I suppose. I think because we had angle snap on, was causing us a problem. Do have to be wary on the staff paths. Oh, I love that. I love that we've got that cut. I don't know why, just little things like that just make me happy. Just a little staircase, doesn't do anything, it's not hurting anybody, and it looks quite cool. So I'm quite happy with that. Where are we? I don't even know where we are for time, I suppose. Yeah, so we've hit the hour mark, which isn't a surprise to me, and we haven't got very much done in the hour. I was planning to be done sort of pretty quickly, but I want to get my first animal in. So what we will do for this episode is get an animal in. I think that's important, and get that sort of done and dusted. So let's get these bisons in. Now we do need to do some hiring before we open the zoo. We spent 20 grand just prepping to get these animals in, so we do need to do it. So let's click start. We always want a caretaker because they deliver your animals, so we'll get one of them in quickly. We need a keeper, so we're going to get him in very quickly, and we'll sort out work zones in a minute. We need a mechanic. We don't need a security guard, but I'm going to chuck one in. We don't need a vendor because we haven't got anything to vend, and we do need a veterinarian, and they're pretty much going to get to work as soon as I push my bisons straight in. Immediately it starts raining. Great. So yeah, so we need to get these bisons pretty much straight into quarantine. So let's check them into quarantine, and that's good news. We'll get that sorted, and it gives us at least a start. Now what we need to do, just for facilities wise, is just provide maybe one or two little guest facilities. So the first big things that we need to do are donation boxes. Yep. You do want to see sort of where guys gather, but they're going to gather around here, I assume. That's always quite important. We will need to stick in sort of drinks and toilets and stuff, but literally they're not the most important thing right now. So compartment should not go behind there now. Any placement, really? We can actually put a shop here, so like this is a great place. These little triangles, like sort of triangles of hate sometimes, but they're actually great for sticking things in. So if you've not played these games before, you'll always get these triangles that turn up, and you'll be thinking to yourself, what do I do with them? And honestly, the best thing to do is to grab a tree. I don't know why I moved that. Just check it. Literally, I'll need to straighten this up because this tree's obviously got a bit bent there in its age. And then what we want to do, we can straighten that tree up a little bit. There we go. Now it's a tree that it looks like it belongs. And what you can do, obviously, we can move where the tree goes in here. Probably want it in the centre somewhere. And then what you want to do is you want to get a bit of nature. Again, God, I tell you what, some of the camera bugs out sometimes on me. I don't know why. Maybe someone can help me out with that, because I literally have zero idea as to why it wants to just bug out with me. Again, another little trick I learned off a couple of other YouTubers and stuff is just rotate once or twice. I quite like the 3 bushes around there now. It just adds a bit of personality to the park, and it gets rid of these triangles. They're really crucial to get rid of. This one will get rid of the building some other time. But now, as you can see, can't find accessible staff room, which is strange. Oh, do you know why? We didn't actually finish building the path. But we did! They've got a staff room, the Lion Bastards. There's no power, which is why there's no staff room. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Facilities, staff facilities, that's not staff facilities. It looks okay actually, but yeah, we need power up there, which now it should be working, and that should be powering up there. What you're going to have an issue with is power here, which is fine, I suppose. But what we want to do is there's a couple of things we want to do actually. So we're going to add that. Can go there. Go there because of water treatment. And we can build something. I'm not going to do that now, but we can build plank here just to keep this all operational. Actually, what we can do with this is cover it up with that. Now, I joked about this wooden plank pieces not coming into great use. They're actually great for, because this is what a zoo or something would sort of use. As you can see now, we're actually covering it up with probably, and you can put these doors in. The guys can still work with those doors. I quite like them as well. They're nice little features. And then what we can do, thanks, can you believe it? And then what you can do is using columns that actually work. This is one I made earlier. We can straighten this up. I know it's probably a waste, but because I built this in the beta, it will sort of work for this, I suppose. There we go, straighten up. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to look okay. It's actually too wide, isn't it? Well, no, we'll cover it up that half, so too wide, I suppose. there we go. All of a sudden now we've got this sort of kept upright, smart-ish looking thing. And then what we can do with parts here is a lines grid. Let's try it again. It really doesn't like trying, does it? I don't mind them being on a little ramp up. It looks quite cute actually, because we're going to struggle with that anyway. But again, the guests might not like this. In fact, yeah, just it edges onto the path, but that's okay. I've seen a lot worse, so we can't put them any further back, I don't think. So I don't think we're going to necessarily get rid of that. Bear in mind, we click at it, grab the group, split from section from group, and then can we? We can do it now. Yeah. Do that. Building paths wise, change it up. That. Nice. And now, believe it or not, they're not going to be bothered about that at all. How lucky is that? Right, okay. We said we wanted to get these guys in. They're actually ready to come out now. So they're ready completely to come out of quarantine. So let's get them. Let's move them. And let's get them in their exhibit. And let's see how this exhibit works. Now, I'm not sure whether or not the wall... I don't think these American Bisons can jump at all. I don't think they can do any of that. But to get them finally in the park and we can get the park earning money during the pouring rain is great. What I am going to do, just for money's sake, because I know money becomes a small issue in this game, is I am going to chuck down one information booth, which looks, I guess it looks kind of on point here. So we'll chuck down the information booth. And we'll chuck down the chief booth. Put it this way. Angles are good. Angles are never bad. And we can actually expand on this design and actually build sort of a left-sided building here with chief beef, maybe a toilet, maybe something else. There's enough room there. We've got a couple of vendors now. But the most important thing is going to be our... Look at that. The rain's great where it falls off the roof. Look how good that looks. Genuinely looks brilliant. And that's where gutters are supposed to come in. But here come our American Bisons. They're going to be pissed because we have not done anything with the exhibit. And we will change stuff. But look at them, there they are. Our first animals into unusing. God, that one's bigger than the other one, and it's part of it. They're weird looking things, Bisons. But they are gorgeous at the same time. Right, so let's see what they want. The plants, they are quite happy. Unbelievably, actually unbelievably, they love it. which has accidentally worked in my favour. The bison loves it already. I don't actually have to do anything. And Hard Shelter, they're happy, apparently. Not quite sure with what. That's so weird. Let's go. We do need to put something in here for them. And we will. Let's put in a medium food trowel. We want them in a pretty decent area. We've got no enrichment items for them, so we do need to do some research on these. We need to do that pretty quickly because we need some enrichment items for them. But the actual here come the guests. Great, we've got guests coming in. What we do need is a bit of educational stuff here. the American bison. And what we need, facilities, it's an educational speaker. And again, don't mind these too much. I will hide them a bit better than this. Mainly because I don't like them, but I can understand that they are quite important. Another thing I don't like as well, I've got a little tickle in my throat. Okay, it's snowing! Cool, I've not seen snow in this game yet. It's snowing. How cool is that? So we've got snow in the game. I've not seen snow before, and our guests, they're actually swarming here. That's their instinct. So we're going to move the donation bucket to somewhere where they can start chucking money in. Let's see whether these guys pack out. So they're going to the education boards. So actually, you get a good idea. And the bisons are actually coming over. They want to come and check out our humans. This is the real zoo. The bison get to check out the humans. Right, so his enrichment is really bad, and we need to work on that. His habitat, he's pretty happy with the temperature. It's probably cold. I don't know, terrain. It's snow. The animal doesn't like snow, which is a bit of a problem because it's snowing. So not a lot I can do about that. So, we have an alpha male and we have this female here, and the male is clearly a lot larger than the female, which is quite nice. We're going to move them both actually at the entrances of those. What we also want to do is what goes with the bison. So the American bison goes with whatever I've got highlighted. And that's the pronghorn antelope. So let's bring it down. Believe it or not, we don't have pronghorn. I thought we had. Maybe I was just wrong. Yeah, the one thing I wish they did is when you filter is that it locks, and they need a locking feature. Just because of ease, really. Well, the good news is we've got 127 guests, which we're already nearly halfway. No, we are nearly halfway to getting that, and 3 habitat species, which we've got 1. The snow's going there. That's the one quite nicely, which is nice. It is the morning. I would like a picture of our bison. Look at them. They just don't care, do they? Oh dear, they really don't care. He is cute. I like the background actually on that. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Right, anyway, the point is, ultimately, I thought I was going to put stuff in with these guys, but they obviously don't want that. Did the guy feed them? That's the vet. The court keeper. What I will do is, I think we're probably going to leave it there for now anyway. We've done quite a lot just to start off this one. I didn't realise it was such a naked build, which sounds kinky, but it isn't at all. I mean, I didn't realise that this was from nothing. You started from nothing, and you literally go from there. I was quite surprised by that. But yeah, not a lot we can do there. We're going to add those two to a work zone, along with, before I cough and choke to death, that staff room there. And we're obviously going to call that the Bison work zone. And let go. Nice. So we have our first work zone as well. And he should be... I'm hoping that this works quite nicely. Oh, he didn't go in there. I haven't actually built a doorway for that. Yeah, let's finish the episode by not butchering that. Nice. And I'm pretty happy with how things look. I like these little wooden box things. The fact that we've managed to suspend that in the water there as well looks quite good. It just looks like we've thought through it a little bit. What's he doing? What are you doing? He's just wandering. He needs rest. He doesn't really need rest. That's probably a there we go. He needs to tidy the fudge out of this exhibit. Bison shit. And a new thing that they've done on the game, which I quite like actually, so one of the patch notes I've read for obviously the full release, is that during the beta they were filling up everything, so with food, but food rots, so they would go off if there was too much food, and they would fill up the enrichments and they would fill up the troughs. But they've changed it, so now they won't fill up the troughs. They will actually fill up the enrichments first, and then if the bison will still be hungry, and if they calculate how much that is by each animal, they'll then add to the troughs, which is quite clever. I mean, it just encourages the animals to use the enrichments, but secondly, it means that you won't get rotten food and a waste of food, which is sort of great. So I'm pretty happy with that. But on a whole, I mean, I guess I'm pretty happy. It doesn't look like we've done very much. We've built an exhibit with a little house and a shed over there, and we've built a chili beef, which looks pretty good, because they are stock. So we built that. We built a few benches. That looks nice. But the big secret came up here. We did put a lot of effort into this staff building for pretty much little to no reason. It's not great looking. It looks okay. It's got a bit of definition at the front. Needs a bit of work at the back. I'm not going to upload it to the workshop or anything right now. But yeah, and again, this is generic, and that's literally a fabrication. Although it is covered in trees and very well covered. And that always goes down well. We put a lot of effort into this stuff for only building, which is okay, I guess. And we did a lot of paving and stuff like that, so it's pretty good for a third live stream. I'm going to leave it there whilst it batters it down with rain that I can't do anything about. And what I will do is catch you guys on the flippity flip. See you later.